What's up, sports bettors? I know I gave out this 5-pick entry earlier, 5-player props to turn 250 bucks into 5K, 5-leg parlay. So I have another 3-pick parlay on Underdog Fantasy. And again, the way that this platform works is legitimately any 5 picks you select from this platform, or any 3 picks, we're actually doing a 3-pick entry, you're going to see that you're betting $1 to win 6. Switch this to an under, $1 to win 6. Replace this with another pick, $1 to win 6 for any 3-pick entry. So we've gone through the math before, but essentially this means that Underdog Fantasy is giving you the implied odds of minus 122 for any 3-pick entry. If we go to a parlay calculator, you'll notice that that's correct, right? Minus 122, we're betting 1 to win 6. 1 to win 6, right? 1 to win 5 in profit is any 3-leg parlay where the odds are minus 122 for every pick. So because on Underdog Fantasy, any 3-leg parlay is always $1 to win 6, 1 to win 5 in profit, plus your $1 stake back, you're getting the implied odds of minus 122 on all of your bets. So we want to use data, right? Use OddsJam to find value 3 or 5 profitable bets that look great at minus 122 implied odds. So if you have questions about this, you can comment them below. We've done, I know a lot of tutorial videos about Underdog Fantasy, Prize Picks, stuff like that. So we want to look for value at minus 122. So what you'll notice here, as an example, is I found this discrepancy for Duke Boston College in Jordan Moore's receiving yards line. So this play was from the OddsJam arbitrage betting tool. So arbitrage betting just means there's such a big discrepancy in sportsbook odds that you can bet on both sides, the over and the under, and earn a risk-free profit. So here, for example, you can bet Devin Vassell over 3.5 assists at plus 122, betting 100 to win 122 in profit, and you can bet on the under on FanDuel and earn a risk-free profit of 3.5% today. It's a risk-free return of 3.5% today. So long story short, arbitrage betting indicates to you where there are big line discrepancies, right? And here the line discrepancy is Underdog Fantasy has this guy's receiving yards line at 39.5, FanDuel's at 33.5, Prize Picks 36.5, Unibet 37.5. So not completely clear, which sportsbook is off because there are some big discrepancies here. But long story short, this play on Jordan Moore, under 39.5 receiving yards, if you're looking for a college football bet for tonight, seems pretty good. Regardless, not the play I went with. So the first play I went with is right here. It's an EV play. Trevor Lawrence, under 35.5 passing attempts. I really like this bet. A lot of value in it. And you can see all of the sports books, except for Unibet, they only have this juice to minus 120. But they're pricing this, from minus 145 to minus 160. So Unibet's at minus 120, so they have the under favored, but they're not as bullish as DraftKings. Pinnacle, which is the sharpest bookmaker, they have the under at minus 148. Caesars minus 145. So is there any value at minus 120, minus 122? I played it, but I played it a bit smaller for this entry. Compared to the last entry, I played it a bit smaller. Like this one was 250, this one's just 175, because I don't love this pick on Trevor Lawrence as much. It's still positive EV. It still seems like we're getting pretty dang good value at minus 122. But the fact that Unibet, a sports book, is offering minus 120 means, we should have lower confidence that this bet is profitable, right? You want to use all the data in the market to tease out where there's value. So if there's discrepancies between bookmakers, it becomes a little less clear. Whereas this next pick is very obviously a great bet, right? We're getting minus 122 for Morris over 1.5 made threes. No other sportsbook's giving us better than minus 132. So even though the EV percentage is a bit lower, which you'll notice, every sportsbook is pretty aligned, right? They're all roughly minus 145, slight variations from book to book, but we have really high confidence that, hey, getting minus 122 is insane value. Pinnacle, the sharpest bookmaker in the world, they're 30 cents worse, right? They're giving you minus 152 on Morris over 1.5 threes. So as a sharp bettor, we're always looking for value, right? That's all that matters long-term in sports betting. You're like a savvy investor, you look for value. If there's value in NFL player props, we bet on NFL props. If there's value on FanDuel, we have more videos about FanDuel. And here, the value's on Trevor Lawrence. Granted, maybe a little more confusing because this game's a few days away. There's some discrepancies between sports books, but regardless, I'm going to dabble in it minus 122 based on where the sharpest bookmaker is pricing it and how high the EV percentage is. Then this one, we, lower EV percentage, but we have really high confidence that this bet is good because all the sports books are aligned, right? They're all pricing this as roughly a minus 145 favorite, and we're getting minus 122. So again, what you're going to notice on Underdog Fantasy is, right, the odds are always the same for the over and the under. And the reason for that, again, is they're not varying your payouts depending on if you select the over or the under. 1 to win 3 for a 2-pick entry. It doesn't matter if you take overs or unders. They're always giving you the same price, which is why the odds never change. The odds only change depending on if you select a 2-pick entry, a 3-pick, 4-pick, 5-pick. And you basically always want to go with 3 or 5-pick entries on Underdog, which you'll notice is exactly what we do. So they're all like long shot parlays. This is literally a long shot parlay platform, but you're going to notice we're always placing 3-pick or 5-pick entries. And we have been running a bit hot, which is cool. So Morris over 1.5 made 3 is another EV play I took from OddsJam. And then finally, we have, so this is a play on FanDuel, Jalen Smith under 22.5. You can see basically every sportsbook has Smith under 22.5 PRAs favored. Caesars has it minus 123, DraftKings minus 125, Pinnacle minus 126. FanDuel's like the only sportsbook with the over favored. So seems like some good value at minus 104 if you have FanDuel available to you. And then the final play I went with, I already showed, but is Desmond Bain. Once again, all the sportsbooks at minus 145, so Desmond Bain is favored. He's more likely to go over 3.5 threes because the sportsbooks are offering, worse odds on it. Sportsbooks imply win probabilities through their odds. If a bet is really favored, minus 200, it's a 2-to-1 favorite, right? It's going to happen 66% of the time. If a fighter is minus 900, they're a 9-to-1 favorite. They're 90% to win, right? So you want to use sportsbook odds because every bookmaker has different odds. You ruthlessly compare the lines on Underdog to the sportsbooks and find value. That's how you make money playing DFS on Underdog Fantasy. How you make money off the sportsbooks is exactly the same. You hunt for value and, you place bets with an edge. You find soft spots on sportsbooks like this play on Jalen Smith where we're getting under 22.5 PRAs at minus 104 and all the other bookmakers have the under favored. So you're not going to win every single bet as a sharp bettor, but you'll notice, just with the few sports books I synced in Arizona, you can literally sync your sports books now. So this will automatically pull your profit and loss from the sports books that you sync. So you'll notice, like if I go to my bets, it shows me prize picks, refunded, whatever, lost, won. So it grades everything automatically for me, which is really cool because I just sync my sports books with OddsJam and it tells me my profit and loss. So I know I'm profitable, right? And hopefully this video was helpful. So we have a 3-pick entry